Welcome back to the At Home with Roby show. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. That's Andrew, ROBY.com. I'm Ashley Davis, and along with Trent Haston, we're your host. We're still joined, by the way, by Patrick Macisaac. He was here before the break. He was going to leave, and he mentioned something in the break that we thought would be good for the folks at home listening. Patrick, it's hot outside. We talked about that a lot today, and we talked about kind of jokingly about how busy our HVAC friends in that business are right now this time of year, but you said you're getting a lot of service calls this time of day.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, what we're seeing happen is, for one reason or another, the consumer or the business owner is calling the heating and air company, and the problem turns out to be electrically related. The moral of the story is that the business or home is still without cool air. So we had a real ramp up over the weekend. We had 10 or 15 additional calls that we normally receive that were related to the heating and air company being unable to provide the electrical fix. So, we carry 24/7 service just like those guys do. Our guy was running crazy trying to help the heating and air company get the power situation repaired or fixed so that they could do their job and get the AC back on.
Interesting.
So yeah, it was kind of funny. I don't know if it's just overtaxing the system or what, but we had disconnects that needed to be replaced, and that's sort of a code thing on any kind of.
Trent, is that a breaker thing or something, or overworking the system, or?
I just think the system's being overtaxed, and they push the ability of the circuit breakers. They don't size them big enough because it's more economical when you build a house or do a construction project, and then when somebody's living in the house. It's 100 degrees outside, and the AC's just running, and they got all the lights on. I just think the system's just says.
And that's a great point. You get
see more.
You build these houses, and then people living in them now. They got 6 TVs. Everybody's got wireless now. You got all these electronics that are overtaxing the system, and you add 24/7 air conditioning to that. It's just going to
which is ironic because the efficiencies have actually gotten better.
Right.
And the TVs don't pull as much, but you're right. We just use a whole lot more power than we did in the past. But
Patrick, how does a homeowner know if it's an HVAC problem or an electrical problem? When your HVAC's not working or something goes awry, a lot of times it's an electrical problem, right? It's a breaker that's tripped or a breaker broke.
It could be. I would guess probably a professional would be the best person to make that judgment, Trent.
But who do you call? Do you call the HVAC guy or do you call the electrician?
I would call the HVAC company and be able to provide as much information as you possibly can. When did it stop working? Did it stop working all of a sudden? Or is it not pushing as much air as it once was before? I am not a heating and air guy. But generally, I would say, especially if you have someone that's servicing your system anyways, I think that's probably the best first call.
So I will tell you this, heating and air-wise, while we're on the topic. If your system is blowing and it's blowing hot air, it's generally low on Freon.
That's right.
So just so you know, I hear that a lot. And they come back in. A lot of times the system will have a leak in Freon, or a lot of times I think it just eventually, like a car, if it's an older system, it'll use Freon up as it runs, right. And they'll have to come in and put some Freon back in your system. But generally everybody's like, oh, man, it's blowing, but it's 90 degrees in the house. It's blowing hot air. That's what that is for the homeowner out there.
So, Patrick, when they call you, they say they talk to the HVAC company, they realize it's a power problem. Is that you guys are 24/7, right? You get somebody out there, take care of it, and they're back in business.
Same number. We actually have a 24-hour live person that'll answer the phone. There's no answering service. There's no leaving. You sometimes I'll have to leave a message, and they'll contact the on-call guy, but you're getting a live operator 24/7.
That's great. And when you're out there, do you look at like that specific problem, or then you can kind of, we talked about sizing of the system. You kind of do an evaluation of everything to make sure it doesn't happen again?
We will from a power standpoint. Now, from sizing a system, generally that's done by your heating.
Right. I meant more the sizing of the
wire
and
the
wiring
breakers.
And all that.
Correct. We'll make sure you're up to snuff.
That's great. I really appreciate you bringing that point up in the break, because we're glad you got to hang around, because a lot of people probably don't know that. So it's robyelectric.com.
That's right.
And then the phone number again, if people have a problem, they want to get in touch with you.
And this phone number works for Columbia, Greensboro, and Charlotte. We do have local numbers for those markets, but the main number is 704-334-6447, 704-334-6447.
And since you're a Clemson guy and you have an office in Columbia, I'm sure you're going to get one in Clemson or somewhere.
I don't know. I think I catch a lot of heat, no pun intended, down there in Columbia. I have to take off my little license plate that says Clemson on the back of it.
I hear you. All right. Hey, Trent, good show today, buddy.
No, it was great. And I will say July 4th, we sell fireworks in North Carolina now, but I don't know if they got the bang of the South Carolina fireworks. I don't know how many of you guys growing up had bottle rocket fights, but
oh my gosh,
but that's a Catawba River tradition. So wear your goggles.
Is that from boat to boat? You have the
well, we used to have them from actually canoe to paddle boat.
Is
what they were.
There you go. It's
and
like
we had PVC. We'd get like a 4-inch PVC and make an L out of it and hold it like a Arnold Schwarzenegger commando rocket launcher. And
awesome.
Those things, you got one buddy that
yeah.
lights them and packs them.
Yep.
And these are the little crazy bottle rockets.
I remember
the real bottle rockets.
I
Now they sell them in North Carolina. They shoot and they don't even go bang.
I know. I mentioned earlier my grandparents down in South Carolina. That was one of my, even though it was crazy hot, we go down there in the middle of July or 1st of July, but that was one of my favorite times of the year. You get down there because we could buy fireworks.
Yep.
But it was pretty regulated. What
I'm driving my dad's truck. And my dad wasn't a big firework guy or anything, but he had some smoke bombs, some humongous smoke bombs, and some M80s. And he would pull up and be at the job site and just drop a big old M80 beside somebody and watch them, see what happens. I still have about 4 of each of those in my truck. I'm gonna, Dad, for
all
you,
right,
buddy.
If you're out there and you're near a Roby site, just be prepared. So,
and these are South Carolina style.
All right, Trent. Another great show. It is coming up on 4th of July. Everybody have a great holiday. For Trent Haston, I'm Ashley Davis and the entire Roby family of companies, along with Patrick Macisaac. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next Sunday, 9 a.m. We hope you'll be here with us for the At Home with Roby show. Enjoy your summer and stay cool out there.
Thank you.